Okay, here in round one, we've got the choice. We're definitely a deck that wants to play first. All right. So a little bit land heavy, but considering we're running 16, I think that's okay. And this hand seems reasonable to me since we can at least start the beats on turn two. We have both colors. We have a good distribution of lands and spells. The only shortcoming of this hand is not a ton of creatures, but I think, like I said, I'm actually okay with this hand. I think it's fine. We get to go dash. At the very least with this hand, we get to go dash into Reckless Imp Hardcast, which is fine. Twin Bolt, fine draw. Let's go ahead and dash. So next turn, likely just hard casting a Reckless Imp, but we'll see. No plays. All right. Hard cast it is. Probably Twin Bolt to morph. Hooded Assassin's fine. I mean, it's a pretty good blocker, but I think that's not overly concerned about that. Currently in a pretty good racing position since we're ahead on the race and we've got grip full of removal. 5 damage to the face just in burn spells. Bloodchin Rager, yeah, I think we can handle that. All right. To be honest, I kind of want to hold my burn spells for face because we have 7 damage and burn spells at the moment. So despite the fact that we're taking 4 a turn, I feel like I can... Well, Reach of Shadows this turn should be pretty good too. For whatever big threat he potentially plays here. All right. Just a beater. Well, I guess we're going to have to Twin Bolt the Rager then. All right. So, I guess we'll kill it in response. So he doesn't get the rebound effect, which is nice. But he did get rid of 2 of our Twin Bolts. Not the ideal draw. Not going to lie. So, we're okay. I'm going to actually have to draw a creature here, though, I think, to win. All right. I guess we collateral damage, and we'll kill the Hooded Assassin since we have to sort of race here. All right. Guess we'll kill the Lifelinker. So just looking for big threats. We have a few. Land, not quite what I'm looking for. All right, so guess we're gonna bust the Kindled Fury, and if we're allowed to block, and eat the Death Toucher. Nope, looks like not allowed to block. All right. Well, that's okay. I think we just drew a bit too many lands this game, which happens. I definitely think 16 lands was the right choice, but having said that, now I now I feel like I'm gonna get mana screwed game 2, but we'll find out. All right. This is fine actually. At least now I can Kindled Fury and still take out the Hand of Silumgar, and then maybe trade with the Skirmisher, I guess, if it comes down to that. All right, still alive. All right, Vault Breaker's pretty good here. I can actually dash plus hardcast. No, I can't. I can't do that. I think we just hardcast Vault Breaker then and pass. What this does is it lets me trade my Berserker for Skirmisher still. I don't want to dash there in case he has a removal spell, because then I just die. All right, well, should have tapped differently. I would have been able to double pump, so that was a mistake. I didn't think about defeat. So forced me to block here. Definitely wish I tapped differently, but it's okay. All right. Threats I will take. That seems problematic. Yeah, guess that works. I have to 2-for-1 myself. It's pretty bad, but I think we kind of have to. Pretty good. All right, well, did not draw our way to victory here, but I think we have actually a fine matchup. I kind of just didn't draw enough pressure early enough, but I still think Twin Bolt's pretty awesome in this match. So I think we can actually easily win this match. We just need to draw better, basically. Um, I think because it's an aggressive mirror match, I'm a little less attracted to the Magmatic Chasm. I do think Seismic Rupture is going to be bonkers in this matchup, despite the fact that it kills a bunch of our guys, we can get some Omega value off of it, potentially. So and I think Dousing Gloom is also very good in this matchup. I think Lose Calm might actually be worse, despite the fact that it works well with collateral damage. I kind of like it less because his guys are so little. I feel like I'm paying too much mana for too little result, if that makes sense. But Seismic Rupture, yeah, does legitimately feel really good in this matchup. Okay. Could do Mind Rot. Actually, Butcher's Glee seems very good too. Although the lifelink against an aggressive mirror match seems pretty important. So I probably cut... maybe Kindled Fury. Still good, but I'd rather just have in-your-face removal, I guess. Or, yeah, something that can hit face like collateral damage. All right, I'm fine with this. Let's try this out. This looks like a solid hand. Yeah, this is quite good, actually. So Skirmisher into Dash Vault Breaker doesn't seem bad. Seems pretty good, actually. Or Twin Bolt, getting some good value, potentially. Actually, I think I wanted to start with a Mountain since we've got the Mardu Scout, which I would much rather play on turn 2 than a Skirmisher. And I could still play the Skirmisher on turn 2, even if I did open with the red source, so we'll see. Turned out to not matter, thankfully, but we're still looking pretty good, actually. So now, if he plays a 2-drop creature, I can Vault Breaker. Alright, Silk Wrap, not that big of a deal, actually. So I can get Vault Breaker value just by dashing, or I can play the Forerunners. Both of those options seem pretty good. Or I can play the Hardened Berserker too. I think we probably play Berserker, actually. It gives me a good threat on board. I have removal to support it, and I do want to make my next spell cheaper. Like, I basically want to attack with Berserker and then play a Vault Breaker hardcast, which would be ideal. Heel Cutter's good too, but we're going to hardcast the Vault Breaker here, if given the option. So, very good threats, good removal to support. Heel Cutter should be bonkers. Potential 10 damage swing next turn, which is real good. Twin Bolt looks real good in this spot, as does Heel Cutter. I think we actually play Heel Cutter. I could have done Twin Bolt, but we know he's got Artful Maneuver, so it actually makes more sense to me to Heel Cut. I think Heel Cut's going to play around the Artful Maneuver the best. Jeez. So next spell cheaper. I mean, I could discard the Reckless Imp, I guess. You could have Sinner Soul too. I can't do much about that. So the question is, do I want to discard to Vault Breaker to hit my land? I don't mind it. But what am I going to cast? Twin Bolt? How good is Reckless Imp? It's okay. I think we'll ditch the Reckless Imp. Like I said, I feel like I'd rather hit a land, but all right. We're in a pretty good spot. I mean, not really going on a limb and saying that. Got our opponent at 7. We have a more highly developed board state. We have a Twin Bolt for any support he gets from this Dragon Hunter. He's got to do something pretty good here to stop the inevitability of our heel cutter. Okay, one land up. So I think that we can. I think we twin bolt. Guess we twin bolt champ. Actually, no, I guess we tail slash champ. Because twin bolt hits face, and then we swing with both. He does get a trade on the vault breaker, but I think that's all right. We're gonna discard, I guess, probably the Forerunner. Could be Reach of Shadows too, I guess. But I definitely want to discard in case I draw a red mana. So, guess we'll discard Forerunner. Alright. Seismic Rupture, not the ideal one, but that's alright. So he blocks Vault Breaker, he takes 3. Goes to 4. We still have a heel cutter in hand, so he's got to do something pretty good here to get back into the game. He's got to play 2 creatures. What else does he have to do? I guess he has to play 2 creatures and not. They have to be good enough to make my heel cutter play not good, essentially. All right, so that worked out well for us. We did all that with 3 lands, too. That's pretty impressive. All right. Deck played well that game. I still like our sideboard plan. He doesn't know about the Seismic Rupture yet. I think Seismic Rupture actually on the draw should be pretty insane. Is Icebreakers actually better in this match because our opponent's got the 2 power guys? I could see that, actually. But Berserker played really well there. It got us our Vault Breaker at a really nice time. Well, I guess it got us a Vault Breaker on turn 4 with no lands. I guess Pitiless Horde is kind of a liability in this matchup, isn't it? Considering our opponent's so aggressive. But you can also dash Pitiless Horde, which makes it pretty good. We have gain life cards too. Yeah, I think we're actually pretty well set for this game, to be honest. So let's just try it again. All right, well, better mulligan the old one-lander. All right, not an insane hand, but if a Pitiless Horde manages to survive, being able to Butcher's Glee it is going to be pretty good. So we'll start off with the mountain. In case we draw the Mardu Scout again. All right, Hand of Silumgar. Actually pretty good against us, but we've got a couple Twin Bolts that can deal with that. Heel Cutter is actually a fine draw, so I guess we'll drop the Pitiless Horde and pass. This way we can keep up Butcher's Glee next turn, possibly get in for 8 lifelink. Seismic Rupture. Let's be honest, I would not be unhappy with a Seismic Rupture draw. Yeah, Seismic Rupture draw would be quite insane. All right, draw. Hardened Berserker, not too bad. All right, well, I guess I could heal cut, dash, but this does feel like a pretty good time to do the old Pitiless Horde, get in for 8, gain 8. My guys don't block particularly well. I think I'm just going to go for the Butcher's Glee play, I think. It just feels like I may not get this opportunity later. And he's going to crack back with everything and probably follow up with a creature. So it actually feels pretty good because then Heel Cutter is going to get better. Heel Cutter is going to let me stop the blocker he plays next. Seismic Rupture is still just an absolutely bonkers we win the game play. Honestly, if we draw it, I feel like we just win. Rage Form's a pretty good draw. Yeah, I guess I can't do much about that. So we'll play the Rage Form, but unfortunately we can't block now, which is a pretty big issue, but can't do much about it. Butcher's Glee would have been pretty insane on that. That's too bad because, well, I guess Twin Bolt wouldn't have been insane, but it would have been pretty good. All right, now I feel like we probably lose, but that's okay. Feel like we're in a pretty difficult spot to try and get back in this game. Seismic Rupture off the top, please, for the win. Mardu Scout, not quite the same thing, unfortunately. So I can Scout plus Heel Cutter, get in for 6, take him to 8. What does that do? We take 6 back. The problem with that is I can't even. Yeah, that's not very good actually. I think we just go Berserker, Scout, and that way I can Heel Cut Surprise plus maybe Removal Spell for the win. I think we'd probably lose this game. I can't think of a lot of cards I could draw besides Seismic Rupture that possibly bring me back in this game. So I have to play both of these. I mean, I don't have to, but I can't also really afford to take 6 damage. I guess I could have just dashed twice and hoped to draw Seismic Rupture. Since now Seismic Rupture takes out my guys too, but I don't know. I actually really liked our matchup. I think we just drew really poorly in Game 3 here. Just did not draw adequately. We never saw Dragon Fodder. We never got to do Dragon Fodder into Koligon Forerunner. Yeah, like I said, I think we actually had a really good matchup here. Because our removal is so good, but just did not quite draw ideal. The Seismic Rupture would have... Seismic Rupture last turn, I think, would have almost assuredly won us the game. I want to say, like, I'm like 60 to 70% sure. I feel like a Seismic Rupture 3-for-1 would have probably just swung this game into winning territory. As is, now we're in like a spot where I don't think we can win. I probably have to double block the Rager. Yeah. Sadly, I think that's the case. Guess I can artful maneuver too, which is pretty bad for us. More enduring victory. Okay. So basically I have to hope our opponent has nothing. Guess I can dash plus tail slash. I can't cast plus tail slash. Either way I'm taking damage, so I might as well do it this way. Might as well get my damage in. All right, well, lost it, but like I said, our deck actually played better than I thought it looked. Actually, and like I said, I really do think we could have won this. I think we just needed to draw better in game 3, and I think we could have dominated this game, honestly. So a little bit disappointed on that front. I wish we could have seen that seismic rupture to really solidify the victory here, but can't always get what you want in the game of Magic. So didn't get it. Still happy that, geez, 3 lands are coming. There was no way we were winning this game. 100% we were going to lose if we're drawing 3 lands. That's real bad. Seismic rupture and just nowhere to be seen, unfortunately. Yeah, I want to see how far away it was, just to get a feel. It was only, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17. It's only 18 turns down the road. Yeah, we could have gotten there, I think. 18 turns later, we would have gotten our seismic rupture. It's pretty valuable on turn. It's pretty valuable on turn 27, I think. Yeah, I think this deck was good, actually. This deck played better than it looked, and I honestly really think we could have won a draft with this deck, but we didn't. So there's that. I liked our removal, liked our creatures. Everything was pretty good, except we didn't get that guy that makes dash spells cheaper or whatever, or the guy that pumps dash guys when they come in. Either of those guys would have really put this deck over the top, I think, but that's okay. Lost it, so we're going to go back to Swiss, and we'll see you for the next one.